دوستو ہم نے کھانا کھا لیا ہے اور اب اس کے بعد ہم لوگ جا رہے ہیں بارز ٹورز پہ. بار ٹورز یہ ہے کہ یہ ہمارے جو گائیڈ ہیں ہمیں یہ ہمیں یہاں پہ جو بارز ہیں بیسٹ بارز وہاں لے کے جائیں گے اور ہمیں جو ہے وہ ان بارز کے بارے میں بتائیں گے. وہاں جو ڈرنک سرو ہوتے ہیں بیئر وسکی ایوری تھنگ اس کی ہسٹری کے بارے میں اور شہر کی ہسٹری کے بارے میں بتائیں گے. تو چلیں دیکھیں کیا ہوتا ہے. اب دوستو یہ مین کیتھیڈرل ہے. اب ہم یہاں پہ آئے ہوئے ہیں, ہم اپنے بارز ٹورز پہ نکلے ہوئے ہیں. یہ ہمارا گروپ ہے اور یہ مین اسکوائر ہے.
Been here since the 16th century, also the same as our meat hall. We were that fifth biggest city, trade city in Europe, so we were a very wealthy city. This was built in the 16th century, and since that era on, was from 1564, the city have been ruled from out of this building. It's a Renaissance style building, a Renaissance 16th century, and well, major building on this square with all other nice surrounding buildings all the way around, of course. A lot of guild houses, and what you can also see from here is the cathedral. Somebody mentioned that you might have seen the cathedral earlier today. Some of you might have. Did they tell
other side?
The other side. Did they tell you something about the cathedral? Or they did?
No.
No? Just short then, because I could go on for hours, of course. And it was also built or finished like this in the 16th century. They started building this in the 14th century. And in the 16th century, this city was getting so big that they said, well, you know what? Stop building this church altogether. That's why we only have 1.5 tower. And why did they need to stop it? Well, they said the city is going to be so big, so Catholic. Stop it and build a cathedral, a church back then, twice as wide and twice as high. Not with, originally 2 towers, but at least 2 of these smaller towers with 2 major towers next to it, or 3 of these towers. So they stopped building it and they started building an outer wall all around it. But then the same happened here as in Paris. Like 4 or 5 years ago, in Notre Dame de Paris, the large fire, the roof came down, and with the money they had saved, they needed to rebuild the church, put a new roof on it, and then they were out of money. That's why you only have 1.5 tower. Anybody want to take a guess how high the tower is?
500 meters.
How high?
500 meters.
500 meters. A bit lower.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, how much?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. I think you know this story already. Somebody told you or you looked it up because it's 1, 2, 3. Indeed. The tower of the cathedral is 1, 2, 3 meters. That's how high it is, how good it is for us to remember. They build this exactly 1, 2, 3. Easy for us to remember and easy for you to remember. As I mentioned, it's the cathedral of Our Holy Lady. She's our patron saint. You saw statues of Virgin Mary there. Behind the tree on the corner is one, and there will be a few more left and right once I show you. The biggest statue on the square is this one, but I'm going to tell you the story about that one later. I first want to tell you a story about the buildings here. So let me stand this way and turn myself around. All the houses you see around here, all these old houses, most of them were old guild houses. Like the building we just saw, the meat hall, was the guild house of the butchers. And the biggest one here, all the way on top, you can see a horse. And we know the man of the rider of the horse. The name of the rider is George. Why do we know he's George? Well, at the back side of the horse, not sure if you can... clearly see it from here, but there's a small dragon creeping up the building behind the horse. That is Saint George and the dragon. Saint George is the patron saint of the archers. So this was the old guild house of the archers. If you look underneath the horse, you have 3 windows next to each other. And left and right of these windows, you see the crossbows, the guild of the archers. The building on the left, where we're standing in front, the man you see here, the very shiny golden man, that's Saint Matthew, because Saint Matthew is the patron saint of the coopers. Coopers, the barrel makers for the wine and the beer. So, very important guild house because they used to make all the barrels. And then the building all the way on the left, on top there's an angel. Why is there an angel? Not because of a patron saint, but a lot of buildings here, the statues you see, or they represent the patron saint, or they represent the name of the house. The houses nowadays have a number on a square, a lane, a street, you name it. Houses used to have a name, and this house used to be called the White Angel. For example, all the way on the right, you see an animal there. That's a fox, because that house used to be called the Fox. So more houses with names.
Yes.
Now, maybe one of the most important buildings on this square, of course, City Hall, but I think the second most important for most people here is the one on the left, called the Angel. There used to be a pharmacy in there called the Angel, and nowadays there's a bar down there called the Angel, or in this case, written in Flemish, Den Engel. And on the right-hand side, this bar here is called the Bengel. That's well, Angel with a B in front of it. I know there's no such thing as an angel. The Bengel bar? Yeah, just after the break time.
So दोस्तों हम ये लोग यहाँ पे हैं, ये बीयर्स बना रहे हैं।
This one is a very good.
या मेरे दोस्त बता रहे हैं ये सबसे अच्छा बीयर है, ये आल्सो बहुत अच्छा बीयर है। और यहाँ पे अब ये बीयर्स बना रहे हैं, हम बीयर टूर पे आए हुए हैं और अब ये सर्व करेंगे। दिस इज़ वेरी गुड बीयर बार, एंजल बीयर बार हेयर। हम लोग यहाँ पे अब आए हैं और यहाँ पे आप इंजॉय करेंगे एक एक बीयर जो है वो मज़े से। दोस्तों अपने बीयर बार्स टूर्स के दौरान हम एक और जगह पे आए हैं, ये भी एक चर्च है। और यहाँ देखें कुछ लोग जो है वो कर रहे हैं, क्या कहते हैं, परफॉर्म। और इधर जो है वो हमारे टूर ऑपरेटर हमें बता रहे हैं, तो इधर जो है बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं। आई विल गिव हर सम टिप। तो यहाँ जगह जगह स्ट्रीट आर्टिस्ट जो है परफॉर्म करते हैं, और अगर आप उनको पसंद करते हैं और चाहते हैं कि वो मज़ीद परफॉर्म करें, तो आप उनको कुछ 1 यूरो 2 यूरो हाफ यूरो जितना आप मुनासिब समझते हैं आप दे सकते हैं। तो इस वक्त हम सबसे जो पुराना बार है एंटवर्प का, वहाँ पे आइए, आप देखें 1565 का ये बार है। और हमारे सब दोस्त जा रहे हैं अंदर, और यहाँ पे हम एक एक ड्रिंक जो है वो एंजॉय करेंगे। ये मेरे दोस्त हैं फ्रॉम टर्की, and he want to disturb me every time. Walaikum assalam. So can we have one drink there together, my friend?
Of course.
Okay, let us go inside and we will have a beer from the oldest bar of the Antwerp. Antwerp. Thank you. दोस्तों ये हम लोग बियर पी रहे हैं यहाँ पे, जो सबसे पुराना बार है और 1565 में ये बना है एंटवर्प में। तो ये हमारे एक दोस्त हैं, उन्होंने हमें होस्ट किया हुआ है यहाँ पे। सो कोई वॉशरूम गया हुआ है, कोई बाहर सिगरेट पी रहा है। तो जैसे सब आते हैं तो विल एंजॉय दिस ऑल ड्रिंक्स। इसके साथ ही हमारा जो आज बियर बार्स का टूर था वो इख्तिताम पे पहुँचा है। यहाँ से 15 मिनट हमारा होटल है और अब हम अपने होटल जाएंगे। खुश रहें दोस्तों, दुआ में याद रखें। शुक्रिया।